trying to apologize. You so you cry, please just cut it out. Don't tell me you're sorry, 'cause you're not. But it's over now, go on and take a bow. Mani padme hum, mani padme hum, mani padme hum, mani padme hum. Mani padme hum, mani padme hum. Mani padme hum. We should do some 2 more fire breaths today. But of course, for healing. For healing. Let me start this real quick. We just want to make sure. Continue the inspiration, the momentum. Let's see here. We got Leanne. Stormy with a chance. We got Sunken. Ileana. There we go. Got Vivian, Bella. You know, I just look at the energy around my life and around how people are. Whenever the energy is low, you need more fire. Whenever there's a lot of fire, you need more water. Right now, a lot of people just easy to lose momentum, as you know. Why is it easy to lose momentum? Because you have to keep doing the work. You know? If you don't keep doing the work, life's not gonna just work out on its own. But that's what people expect sometimes. That's why the one thing the master said he don't like, lazy, because you don't want to do anything. But let's just wait a little bit before. And it's good to review the fire breath too, which is the prerequisite. Right, the prerequisite is you have to. Well, you don't have to do all this. The prerequisite. Welcome, Sister Christy. Legs crossed, back straight, head slightly tilted, hands stacked, tongue gently touching the roof of the mouth, eyes partially closed, focusing on your breath. That's the 7-point system. Right, which is just meditation generally. And then the fire breath, which is not really the fire breath. The Westerner call it fire breath, but there's a lot of different styles of it, right? But that's just the general. The Tumo is a more precise Tibetan style, which is called the Fierce Lady style. And if you notice your body cold, like if I start touching my skin, because your body is warm. But if I start feeling that I'm too cold, which is like you got too much yin energy, like you touch your body, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm cold. Then you need to increase the fire. You could So let me just review it for myself first, because you gotta do what you gotta do, which is first step, you release the dead air or the dead prana, which is the energy at the bottom of your stomach. Right, when I do the fire breath, I want to open the flow, so I open my arm, because the Tibetan lamas, right, you're opening every channel, but you don't have to do all that. In the beginning, you don't need to do this style. This is when you like warm up the technique, and then if you're somebody with a lot of fire energy, doing this will make you have more fire. If you're somebody who's more soft-spoken, don't know how to have good boundaries, or your energy low, this is a good one. And it's basically you're doing, when you exercise, you do the same thing. Right? So exercise is the same thing, but when you're exercising, your mind could be like wandering, oh, how my ex-wife doing? My ex, right? But when you're doing this technique, there's so many systems involved that your mind sharply focused, and then your energy flows. When you're more in your head, you channel that fire towards some BS that doesn't serve you, which is whatever it is, the system, or the world's so bad. Why can't we help nobody? Right? That's not a good way to manifest or whatever. So prerequisite to the Tumo is the Zen style. Legs crossed. Do you have to? You don't. If you can't sit on the ground, just sit anywhere and have a good posture. The reason we do this, because if you could faint when you can faint or fall asleep, and it hurts a lot less to fall off, like to fall asleep while cross-legged, than to fall off a chair. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Falling off a chair hurts more. If you fall asleep like this, it's least likely to cause damage. But when you're on a chair and you're like, so, or when you do the fire breath, sometimes you get lightheaded, and if you're somebody who's new to it, you could like lose a little consciousness. Right. So that's why, like me, I pass out before. Like, it's by personal experience. Passed out and hit my shin on, and bled. Body was in shock. But if you're not about that life, then you're not. If you're too scared to do stuff, just you have to have some courage when you decide to devote yourself to something. No fear. The mind has fear. And so that's why we sit legs crossed, back straight, right? Your spine is like a bamboo. Your head, you want to keep your ego humble. You want to be more in. Whenever you do all this, your energy is out, you want to be in. Okay, and there's a difference if you just sat and tried it. And you stay humble. Head slightly tilted, right? Looking slightly down. When you're out too much, you're sometimes meditating for other people to stare at you. That's called ego, because sometimes you feel you progress so far on your spiritual journey, you need people to see you. You don't. Okay. And then the tongue gently touching the roof of the mouth. Whenever I go into deep meditation without good form, I have drooled before. Because whenever I go into deep meditation, Now I'm just doing it while I play the flute, deep meditation. But whenever I sit still and you don't have good form, you'll start drooling. Because when you're in deep meditation, you don't move anything. You just, and if you don't have a good discipline, you will start drooling. You'll start the form prevents you from like doing a bunch of random stuff. Right. There's other reasons, but my reason for whenever I meditate myself, I don't want people telling me like it's good. People can teach you what it's about, but through your own experience, you see, oh yeah, keeping my mouth closed during deep meditation prevents me from drooling. Word. Right now, your reason could be some other, the meridians and all this. I don't care about that stuff. Okay. Eyes partially closed helps you prevent yourself from going into dream state. I notice that when I meditate with my eyes slightly open, my mind doesn't project more dream state. Some people, they like to get high off that kind of experience, because when you're in deep meditation, your mind doesn't know are you asleep or awake unless you keep your eyes slightly open and let light in. When you're sleeping, your eyes completely closed, right? But when you keep your eyes slightly open, you're choosing to be in between, dream state and awake state, which is meditation. But if you close and then you don't have good discipline with your posture, then what will happen is you'll start having really weird thoughts, because your mind's starting to dream. So it's like when your dream world is not your reality. It starts doing weird stuff, and then if it's really weird stuff and you're attached to your thoughts, you'll start contemplating, oh, that's really weird. Why am I dreaming? Because your mind literally is dreaming, because that's whenever you do deep meditation, you think you're going to sleep. And so if you get carried away by your, quote, dream state mind, it could distract you from your discipline. So that's why when dream state mind comes up, let it go too. Sometimes you want to like, oh no, why did I have this really weird thought about a panda? That's just the nature of the dream state. It could be anything, Why did I see a hot dog? I don't even eat meat. Like, Yeah. So this is the 7-point. Yeah. 7-point. This from Zen. The master teaches this form. Now the tumo is something I had to go and explore myself, because I have a lot of water energy. I'm naturally feminine, which is I'm more yin, but to balance my energy, I need to learn how to be yang also. Most people don't know that. So I'm just more feminine, or I'm more feminine, but to make my life work, I had to discipline myself to be both, right? Yin and yang. But if you don't have a teacher or you don't have community, you'll just identify as just more feminine or more masculine instead of centered. When you're centered, you gain wisdom, your life works out a lot more. Yeah. I don't even talk about air. The air and earth stuff, that we just want to deal with less in the beginning, because most people cannot tell the difference between water and fire consistently. The air and earth, right? When you're airy, right? You're too in the clouds. Right? When you're too grounded to the earth, you're more attached to like your humanness. So finding the difference between that's more. If you can just balance the yin and yang, the rest naturally makes sense, because at least you're paying attention to water and fire. Right? And it's not that technical. This thing will try to make every. If you just pay attention to the basic, the universe opens the door. But if you ask too many questions, like the universe is already teaching you, but sometimes we don't want to pay attention because we want to learn more. But it's not, when we learn something, it's not long-term learning, right? When we let the universe teach us, it's long-term learning. When we try to learn from here, a lot of times it's short-term. But when the long-term helps us to like integrate things for longer, longer experience, rather than just book smart learning, take tests and get over with it. When you slowly learn, it becomes long-term. But if you try to learn quickly, it's like how people learn astrology. So the tumo is being alone a sign of being centered? That has nothing. Being alone and centered has nothing to do. Centered and alone. I mean, being alone is just being with yourself. You can be with yourself and be uncentered. Or ungrounded. Yeah. But to be alone and uncentered, that's called being lonely. And if you're lonely, that means you're disconnected from yourself, means you're not centered. Which is a lot of people, when you're not centered, you're going to look for solutions everywhere that's not in your center. And then you never find joy. Right, welcoming Elio. And so to do the fire breath, let's just run through. I think a lot of people already know how to do this. Right. First, you release the dead air. Like, for example, you can breathe into your stomach, right? So the oxygen can come all the way down here. But most people just breathe like here. When you practice meditation, right, you naturally breathe deeper. If you can't breathe deep and you're trying to do the tumo, it's going to help you breathe deeper, honestly. And that's why meditation is good for your health, because when you breathe into your stomach, you bring more blood flow to the organs here. If you just breathe here, right, you're not expanding and contracting your stomach, so there's a ton of organs around here. And when you contract and compress and expand this area, your organs also get blood flow. So when you exercise, you naturally breathe into your stomach, sometimes without realizing it, because you need more air. So to get more air, you breathe deeper and deeper. And most athletes are just breathing here the whole time. So you see runners not even tired most of the time, because they have a flow into here, right? So there's a lot more lung capacity that can go all the way here. Okay. First, you release. So this is called the tumo. You release the dead air by gently pushing from your stomach. So I do that until my stomach shakes. And then once you're deep exhale, then you start doing oh, don't do this when you're driving. So if you're driving, don't do it. Okay. So that's called stomach breathing. Okay. Yeah, so this is not a casual practice to where you just casually do it because you could pass out. When you're done stomach breathing, when you feel complete, like when you feel you're like, you don't want to do it so much to where you feel like fainting, but you don't want to be so easy that you don't feel challenged. You know what I mean? You don't want to just put some damn effort into it, right? When you feel decent, then you want to breathe in, hold your breath, swallow your saliva. Wherever your saliva ends, you visualize a translucent orb with a fire at the center. And visualize feeling a flaming sensation in your stomach, but don't close your eyes. Keep it slightly open. And then you want to squeeze your perineum, which is your Kegel muscle. And where everything that you're doing, you want to visualize it centering in your dantian. The dantian is wherever you swallow your saliva, wherever you visualize that translucent orb, there's a fire at the center of the orb. When you squeeze your Kegel or your perineum, you want to visualize everything centering on this little dot, a size of a golf ball. In that size of a golf ball or an orange that's a translucent orb. At the center of that orb is the seed of your soul, also known as your solar plexus chakra. At the center of that chakra is where you came out of your mother's womb, right? That's why that belly, slightly above the belly button. So you squeeze your Kegel, right? Hold your breath. And on the exhale, you want to slowly, you want to do I call it the pin needle mouth. You just blowing, you visualize yourself gently blowing on the embers of your solar plexus and it lighting up. Just a little dot. And all of this is not in here. Do not try to over-visualize with your mind. Make the visualization a sensational embodiment and visualization. Because if you try to visualize in here, then it's more in here. But if you use more of a tingling or a burning sensation, it helps you to center the energy more in your body than your mind. Okay. Let's start from the beginning again. First, you have a good posture. You just take a deep breath generally. First, you release the dead air or dead prana with a gentle hissing noise, which allows you to push from stomach breathing. This part you may pass gas because you're expanding your stomach so much, and you will. Okay? So if you do, it's natural. Okay? Because you're clearing everything in and you're becoming a giant hot air balloon. Yeah, for real. You might like So you do stomach breathing. Not too strong, but not too gentle. Just the middle way. Everything that we're doing in here is the middle way and slowly stronger. On the inhale, hold your breath. Squeeze your kegel or your perineum, space between your exit and your private. Swallow your saliva wherever your solar plexus is. And all the sensations that you feel, send it back here. Because sometimes you start contracting your shoulders. Relax, relax. Just engage your core only. Even your facial muscles, sometimes you want to start doing all this. Chill. That's outside circle. Relax the outside circle. Center, engage the center. And then on the exhale, you slowly release. You keep holding on to your kegel muscle or your perineum. And then you blow on the embers. And then you release your perineum. Yes, it's very similar to the Wim Hof. And then you just simmer in the energy, but the whole time you never lose focus. The whole time you just focus here the whole time. Right? The anapanasati, the Zen breath, you focus here the whole time. Body scanning technique, you scan different areas. But this technique, you only focus here the whole time. When you're breathing, all you're doing is you're visualizing the energy going in. There's no energy out. On your inhale, it goes in. Even on your exhale, single pointed focus in your solar plexus. Once you're ready, you release the dead air just a couple of times. So when you have fresh energy flowing, your prana flowing, you don't need to keep releasing the dead air with a hissing noise. Oh, look, we have a cute people on Twitch. There's a lot of kids on here. Shout out to the children on Twitch. Here we go. Last time, release the dead air. Stomach breathing. On the inhale, hold. Squeeze perineum, swallow saliva. Visualize the orb with the flame at the center. Hold. Keep your eyes slightly open. Relax your outer ring of the body. Keep your core engaged. Slowly releasing your lips only. Blow on the embers. And then release your perineum, kegel muscle. Now no more releasing the dead air. Simmer a little bit, keep everything still engaged at the dot here, solar plexus. Feeling a burning sensation at the dot. That's how you visualize. You visualize a flaming sensation here rather than visualizing mentally a dot in your stomach. There's a huge difference in visualizing a sensation in your body rather than a mental dot in your stomach. It can be a little bit here, 10 or 20% here, but 80% is more here. I'm trying to be as accurate as I can in how I develop, so you can, okay. And the whole goal of this meditation technique is to help you feel bliss. So stay humble, stay grounded. Of course, there's other benefits, but you don't want to chase that, because then you'll have expectations. Just joy is enough, bliss is enough. Just like many people come here to relax, but they end up healing their body too. Here we go. Stomach breathing, and we begin. Go at your own pace. Breathe and hold. Swallow. Squeeze. Orb. Flame at the center. Relax your outer body. Keep your core engaged and hold. Slowly release your lips, blowing on the embers. Release your perineum, slowly. And if you're not sure what you're doing, don't worry. Just do what you can. Sometimes you have doubts about new methods. Just do what you can. Through practice, it'll make sense through your observation and discipline. A lot of it didn't make sense for me initially, but as you keep doing it, you learn things naturally. Simmer. Keep your energy centered. And whenever we're breathing, just breathe here. Gently. Like I'm not even raising my shoulders. Most of the time I'm doing stomach breathing, and occasionally I'll. But whenever I'm settled, you never see really me raise my shoulder when I'm breathing too much, because I'm always it's like I don't even think about it. I just naturally do it because it's just mind. It's not natural, but when you practice, it becomes more natural. Like when you live a peaceful life, when you're constantly practicing peace, you naturally become a peaceful person without needing to like try to be positive. You're just like, yeah, that seems negative. No, thank you. But eventually you learn how to approach negative things in a more grounded manner. Know what I'm saying? Here we go. Stomach breathing, get ready, and we begin. As you progress, you want to do a little bit more intense. until you don't need to be. And hold, squeeze, swallow, visualize, relax your your surrounding body. Slowly blowing the ember. Release your perineum. Keep breathing towards your solar plexus, and just simmer, but have your gentle focus at the core. If I was privately doing this, or if I'm not explaining myself, then I would have my eyes a lot more closed. It's still slightly open. And I would focus more on just centering and sensation. And then at the end, you wanna enjoy the process. It shouldn't be such a chore to be like, yeah, I'm meditating. Like, enjoy. But some people like the intensity. Enjoy the intensity. Grateful that you're spending time to love yourself. You're spending time to cultivate peace in your life and potentially healing your body too. As you discipline this more, then the next technique, welcome my sister Cece. The next technique, right, once you get that good, the next is this is the evolution of the technique, okay? You don't have to all do this yet, but you see people like with their shirts off, doing all the, so that's why you do this, because when you do this, you're forcing your stomach to be extended. Right, you're extending your frame so that your stomach can like keep this out, excuse me. So this is, so the lamas who teach this technique in the pictures, they all do this. I'm like, why the hell are they posing like that? Of course, they're quietly teaching. Even without words, they're like, represent, they're like doing this. Okay, thank you, sister. Right. The beginner technique, you don't want to push people so hard because there's so many, like, it's a lot already, right? 7-point system, the prerequisite. Legs crossed, back straight, head slightly tilted, hand stacked. I do a mudra. Like, I just feel the energy and it's telling me to like do the mudra like this. Okay. I literally just, and I put you want to push yourself. If you could do full lotus, this is the time to, because it's getting your perineum, where your kegel is right on the ground when you could do the full lotus, right? And the root chakra is right on the ground. That's why getting to this, and it's really good posture because now everything is like extended. And you can, as you can see, I'm a lot taller sitting on the ground. But if I just sat regular, see, my head could touch this. So you're literally just extending yourself. And so if you did everything, full lotus, and in the beginning, you need intensity. It's a lot of focus. Stomach breathing. Let's just go all the way here. And hold, squeeze. Slowly blow. Release perineum. Oh, thank you, Sandy. Thank you for helping me complete the goal. And the reason this technique was secret for a long time is because you need to learn the whole flow. If you try to shortcut any method, right, you could just be burning yourself out. When you say hold and squeeze the perineum, you're just squeezing your kegel muscle. When you go to the restroom and you push your, urine out, you squeeze that muscle. It can be as gentle or as strong as you want. In the beginning, I would say everything is the middle way. In the beginning, because if we try to control too much, if we try to control too much, right, then it feels uptight. But if you're too loose, so you have to everything's the middle way, right? Squeezing, because initially you're gonna squeeze strong, but if you notice you're squeezing strong, then you can relax it. If you notice that you're too loose, then you wanna. So as you practice, then you learn to pi ratio yourself. In the beginning, you're like too high, too low, high, low, high, low, and the more you practice, you're like. I hope you understand. That's literally life and wisdom. Life up and down and up and down. And as you're paying attention, you're like, I don't like that. Oh, finally. Right. Same thing with everything. Right. If I'm doing the full lotus and it hurts, well, guess what? How much pain can I handle? Too much pain, then I get effed up for too long. Too little pain, then I'm not focused because I'm too comfortable. Right. The one thing that we make sure is we're not too comfortable. When you're too comfortable, you will fall asleep. your mind will wander because you're too comfortable. That's why laying down and meditating is not optimal, because you're literally the most comfortable when you're laying down. When you're comfortable, the mind just wants to. I wonder how much Pokemon cards nowadays. What's for lunch today? I wonder what he ate today. Because the mind's too comfortable, it'll start like, you know what I mean? Anything. So if you're already in some pain, then just be comfortable because you're already in pain. You see how it works? If you're already in pain, don't push your damn body into pain more. You're like, I'm hurt, but you know what? He says we need to have a little pain. Right? So if you're somebody who is experiencing illness, you're already in pain, so you don't need to push so hard, because you don't want to burn yourself out, because you're like, I'm gonna like brute force meditation to enlightenment, right? If you're already in pain, may you heal. You know what I mean? I'm in pain. Right here, let's like chill. Okay. There's nothing to prove here. Sure. Like, oh yeah, look what I can do. Okay. But full lotus for this. We're not going to Planet Fitness, okay? We're in the spiritual, the dojo here. Different dojo, okay? So here's all the steps. Initially, just once or twice, release the dead air, gently pushing from the stomach. And then you begin with stomach breathing. You may pass gas here because you're actually pushing, you're expanding your stomach enough to where you're releasing, right, the dead air, literally, right, all the gas that doesn't, right, that's old energy, you're letting it go through. Like I literally pass gas right like here, like oh. And then once you do that for a while, then on your inhale, you hold your breath, squeeze your perineum, which is your Kegel muscle. Swallow your saliva wherever it ends. Then you center your energy on your solar plexus, which is around your navel area, but it's not outside here. It's at the center around your spine, or just that general area. It's not out here, right? It's like in, which takes time for you to figure out. You want to relax your surrounding external body, like everything here, and just keep this engaged, even your legs. And slowly, on the exhale, you blow on the embers. But keep your perineum squeezed. Once you're pushed all the way, then release your perineum. Then when you relax, you just keep breathing into your solar plexus, also known as the Dantian. to run through it again. Release the dead air. Stomach breathing begin. When you feel decent or enough pressure, squeeze. Perineum, swallow saliva, visualize the orb, keeping your eyes slightly open. And visualizing a burning sensation at just a dot, like a little star, a little dot in the sky, just in here. This seed of the soul just burning. On the exhale, you slowly blow out with a pin needle mouth, blowing on the embers. When you blow, you feel the star here. And then when you blow out all the way, no more air left, then you release your perineum and you keep your focus still on your solar plexus. And then you can end with the Zen meditation. But just still focus here. So whenever I do this, right, whenever I tell y'all breathing in, that's where I'm going to. Right, essentially there is no, right, essentially it's just here. Which is the Zen style, right, more water technique. But the Tumo adds fire. So if you're somebody who needs more blood flow in your life, you so when you exercise, more blood flow, but maybe you're somebody who can't exercise. Of course you can, but sometimes you're in the hospital or you're at work and your energy is low. Right, you're at work, you're not gonna go out. You're or on the way to the restroom, you know you feel like, damn, I'm sleepy. And you know you don't want to drink another cup of coffee because you just drank 2 cups already. Me, I just play the flute. My Tumo, I could just play the flute in a more masculine way. Right? So that's why I don't do that. I don't need to do it as much because playing the flute is difficult, right? For example, it seems like I'm playing very gracefully, but it's a lot of fire energy that I'm using because it's non-stop energy pushing out. Right? It's peaceful, but behind that peace is a lot of... That's why I look very focused, because I'm doing Right? So that's why a lot of musicians who sing or play the trumpet or whatever, they're peaceful, because behind that great delivery is a lot of fire technique practice. A lot of athletes are very peaceful, right? Especially if they're like a long distance, something that requires time. The athlete with more ego is the ones that don't practice meditative style of exercise. That's all. Like sprinting, right? There can be a bit more ego there, right? But whenever you see a marathon runner, they're not really posing like Usain Bolt. They're just like, whatever, man. Let's get it started and get it over with. Right? But the sprinters, right? Done like, oh. Right? Usain Bolt, when he runs, it's literally just like 10 breaths. Done. Like, wait, what? And you can visualize the whole run in their breath already. But when you're dealing with somebody from Kenya who's doing a whole marathon, right? They got this. They're calm because they have to be disciplined with their energy flow. Right? And so when you're dealing with Tibetan lamas who live in the cold and they don't have heating, or right, because maybe the Tumo came from a monk that got stuck in a winter snowstorm and started meditating because of cold, and out of nowhere, like, oh, I can generate my own body heat. Word. Right, but the whole time they're like, all they think is fire, because that's an extreme condition, right? So even in the extreme condition, they just, now to get your body heat to rise up, that's their technique. That's the Tumo, right? When in the yogic path, when you choose one technique, you stick to that. Like if you're from a school of Tumo practitioners, that's all you do. Right? When you come from the school that visualize the orb without the fire technique, all you do is go in the orb. When you come from the school that just chant, that's all you do. Right? And so that's how much devotion you need to have to find great result, brother, sister. So to me, sound healing is all I do. Whether it's singing high pitches, low tones, right? I just use sound, right? It's not like just Native American flute. I just use sound as my modality. Whether it's Tibetan Boss drums, the way I'm speaking, or the so if you want to find result in your life, reduce your focus to, like, have a focus in how you want to operate. Right? How you would like to operate. It's just, sound is effective because that's what people need now. That's why it took time for me to figure out, what is my bodhisattva path? I don't choose the path chooses for you. This is the path that's very effective. That's why it happened. At the time in the Himalayan mountains, it's cold. Well, what path shows him? Oh, the Tumo, the fierce lady style. Because why? It's cold as hell. They need body heat. And God and the Buddha, here, Tumo. Like, oh, what is that? Fire breath. Right, that's the fire breath right there. But the dot the fire would be here. Right? This is why I have a giant crystal ball on the side. It represents that technique. A clear, clear crystal ball, but your chakra, where it is, it's about grapefruit to a golf ball size. But as you mature, right? As you mature, the grapefruit size condenses because your energy is more dense, right? And so you get to like a golf ball size energy because you have discipline enough instead of your energy, right? In the beginning, when you have awakening, your aura is shining everywhere. Then you start attracting your old friend, like, wow, you look happy, let's go out and drink again. So eventually, as you mature, you learn to contain your aura and you shine on command, right? In the beginning, you don't know better. I'm shining. So as you mature, you learn how to stay humble with your energy, and eventually it condenses. You know nothing. You're just some bald guy. You just play the flute and hit the gong. I hope you understand. There's a reason everything's taught a certain way. There's a reason I do everything. Because it's to help you progress rapidly. Let's just be honest, okay? I'm here so that you can progress rapidly instead of having to cultivate for 5 years to what you could have learned in like 2 months. That's it. Because as we rapidly raise our vibration, so does our environment and planet. But the cost of helping people rapidly grow is that you need community. Right? You need community. Community helps us to hold each other in energy. And so that's why I'm grateful this is not the only place you can come. You can hang out with Cece, you can hang out with Christy, you can hang out with Grace and Virgil. You can hang out with many people. And through community, we help hold the space for cultivation. Right? Even Sister Kata, many people streaming. Because we need community to grow and cultivate together, not just hang out, be cute, and identify as spiritual but have no results. I'm done with that kind of cultivation. That's called immature. That's why it led me to making my own thing. I'm like, man, y'all acting. You know what I mean? Like, man, all y'all talking about is damn Pleiadians, and y'all not even teaching real. Like, it's not even effective. So I just kind of, like, man, y'all always talking about the 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, but you're not even here. When I start realizing all these spiritual people aren't actually present, it like, wait a minute, these people aren't even like present. They're not grounded here. Because why? They're microdosing. A lot of people aren't sober on the spiritual path. A lot of people microdosing, and there's a lot of communities that arise nowadays because of plant medicines or money too. Yeah, but it goes hand in hand. Yeah. And nowadays they have the thing where you can actually smoke and do yoga. I'm like, oh. And I talk to my friend, most people who I hang out with do not support that. Smoking and doing yoga is a new thing now. Like, even Bikram yoga wasn't doing that, out in the open. But again, it's just, that's why I can criticize all day and do nothing. I'm just glad we got something that works, and there's miracle and there's healing. Yeah. So when I see this new version of what's going on, it's like, oh, what can you do? Just be a better teacher. Be a better teacher. right? So as we become great teachers and better, leaders, then people will find a peer path, right? Because sometimes when you hear the peer path, it's like ill. You don't understand why is he judging plant medicines? It's good for you don't understand anti-aging. You don't think I've done it before? When are you gonna graduate plant teachers already? You've been on your 15th ayahuasca ceremony already. Yeah, I learned that a lot of times people don't say the truth because we're scared of words like stop judging people. But literally, when you tell people to stop judging people, you're judging somebody. It's like I learned that it's about learning from people, Life, we're here to make an understanding with each other that it's healthy to judge if you don't just become biased and just one-minded. You have to be willing to see why they're like that too. Right. It's like, yeah, I understand how plant medicine help people, but we have to see how it's poisoning people too. Is it more benefit? Are people healing? Right. It's like some people don't meditate, they just buy more obsidian. Don't you see there's a conflict of interest there? I feel, right, I think I'm grounded because I have a lot of obsidian, but really I can be living in fear, surrounded by 30 obsidians on my neck. But I think I need 31. And 30 organites too. I need a crown of organite, And how much money does the metaphysical shop make? Tons. How are people's life? They need another one. Here comes DJ Khaled again. Another one. Oh. That's why but the thing is, when you're new to spirituality, I love that, right? When you're new to spirituality, thank you to the metaphysical shop. You know what I mean? When I was new to spirituality, I liked going to metaphysical shop and psychic fairs because it made you feel like, okay, you're not alone. But now instead of helping you progress, sometimes it keeps you in this level of materialism. I know, spiritual materialism, which is a thing. It's the physical thing matter. Is I tell people, the statue of the Buddha represents the Buddha within, but some people who are new literally think they're bowing to the Buddha out there, right? But as you mature, you realize, is the Buddha actually in that statue? No, it's a symbology of what's within. Why wouldn't the shortcuts cost extra? And yeah, there's a lot of shamans making money already, right? 2-day retreat, anti-aging journey, that's 800. It's lucrative market because if they grow their own stuff, you save a lot of money. And then that's again, I know the thing is, these people are my acquaintances. I know, I've been around enough to have friends in all places, a lot of places. Let's just say, okay. I have a lot of shaman friends, mucho, and those have the biggest ego too. But we're not gonna say any names. Okay? No names. No names. I still like the idea of Mystic Village camping trip. Yeah. I have to go in about an hour because I gotta do Unity with Sister Emily and Charles today. Aren't shamans supposed to have no ego? No. Even monks have ego. I mean, the thing is, there's nothing wrong with ego. It's just when the ego uses you instead of you using the ego, that's when it becomes a problem. Whenever you lead with the ego, the humanness, basically, more than your divine, that's when it becomes an issue. It's okay that we all have ego. It's fine. It's more about don't let it use you. Use it. Right? I use TikTok. I don't let TikTok use me. That's why I don't do the silly battles. Sitting awkward in front of each other. Hey, you want to battle? Like, no, thank you. But if you're Diane, it's fine. Diane is just doing it for fun. Diane will sit there, practice her flute while having a... She's not even there to battle. She just say yes. Like, Diane will sit there and practice her flute and battle. Wildin'. Oh, I'm just practicing. She's like, hey, what's up? I'm just practicing my flute. Like, oh. And people will be like, what do you say to that? The responses are hilarious. Yeah, my heart won't let me battle. It's like there's like a force field around battle. So I'm like, don't even think about it. I don't even like it tried to get you to battle to get you. You know, I'm like, no, we're not doing it. Now, if you battle, that's your thing. Okay, that's your thing. If that, because sometimes that's what I'd rather build community. You know what I'm saying? My battles are inside my head. That's why I'm here. Shout out to Shane. The reason why, welcome everybody, Sister Soen. The reason why I'm teaching more, because right now, whenever it's quieter, that's a sign. If it's quiet, it's teaching time, right? Because we're prepping for the next round, because summer is coming and there's going to be a bunch of kids, lots of college students wilding on here, and there's going to be a lot of God is not real debate. God is real debate. Jesus, right. And this stream annoys a lot of people, but the immature people don't know how to leave, and so we're gonna have to just be patient with people. That's all. It's just the nature of young people, hard-headed sometimes, but through deep patience and really good reasoning, you can actually help people understand what we do in here and how to transform your life. And we have, right? That's why the community keeps growing slowly. And I'm grateful. Is it better to be a warrior in a garden than be a gardener in a war? Why can't you be both? Why can't you be both yin and yang, nurturing and also courageous? You can. Beliefs are grasped to reality. Yes, because we have reality to grasp. Again, the core belief that what we believe around here is we're a spiritual being having a human experience. But the human experience and the spiritual experience, it's actually the same one. Right? It's one. Yin and yang aren't separate. It's one. But there's definitely a form to it. Right? There's a way it works, how it works. It's one, but it works a certain way, which is called how the system works. That's what the master calls it. Many people would try to abandon your humanness. There is no death. Yeah, in Zen, it's true. But on a real level, why the hell do we have cemeteries then? Why do we even have funerals? On a human level, like, oh, word, we're just gonna pretend that doesn't exist because of your philosophy. Oh, right. There's some things you have to be. Philosophy can describe some things, but that's why you wanna be open-minded and use discernment and understanding, because you can be so open-minded that you're ungrounded. That you can be so open-minded that you think you're happy, but you're actually unhappy. That's my main concern with people. That you can be so into philosophy, you're not even sure, are you happy? Some people think that they're happy, but they don't even feel the joy. That's an issue. Do you know Mahagama? I think I heard that before, but I'm not sure because I don't. Is that in Buddhism? Be careful when you eat seafood. Doctors confirm I have salmonella and E. coli poisoning. Hope you feel better, sister. I mean, clearly you feel better, so I'm glad for that. Or else you wouldn't be hanging out with us right now. Yes, Silas, yeah. The philosophy that I practice, it leads to joy. Sometimes I used to spend a lot of time on describing all these philosophies, but how can we make this philosophy more practical and have joyful results? People talk about Jesus and God all day, but it lacks the feeling of love. And that's why many people no thank you. Because you can it's like you like to read the cookbook but you don't do the cooking. And when you do the cooking, your food's salty. People don't want salty food unless you like salty food. Most people want dynamic experiences, That's why I focus on more practical-based teaching. There's a lot of philosophy out there already, and people used to try to debate me all the time about Zen and all these views and all. Because they're ready to be a leader, but they don't want to do it. This is also an issue. You know a lot, but you don't want to go out there and help people. Or sometimes you go out there and help people, but you don't do a great job. Some people's standard for the way they do the work is they're just happy with helping a few people. But the beautiful part is you can keep growing that. Grow. Because if what you're doing is deeply impactful, it's going to exponentially grow. They don't appreciate that cause because they don't know English in my country. But you know English. Hey, you're lying. They do know English. They got you. Maybe you're meant to lead your country. I don't want to do that. Somebody else is going to do that, right? Lead a peaceful movement. Yeah, let somebody else do it. I do, but all the people in my country don't, and my stuff is in English. Well, if English doesn't work for people in your country, should you just keep doing English? If just teaching meditation with no music doesn't work, do I just keep teaching meditation with no music? If I have bad microphone and bad microphone don't make people enjoy the sound, do I just keep using bad microphone? No, I get a better microphone. Right. If I live stream from my phone and the phone quality not too bougie, maybe I need to get better phone. Right? You have to slowly improve, but find your purpose and just keep going. Easy to give up, but don't. What did they say? Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. The midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. singer in the smoky room. A smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Street lights, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Don't stop believing, hold on to that feeling. Street lights, people, don't stop believing, hold on to that feeling. Street lights, people. When you connect with people, you have to find a way to be original and authentically yourself. That's why I just do whatever. I find a balance between being too spiritual. Sometimes being too official, it doesn't work as much, especially nowadays, because there's a lot of fakesters who you dress official, you talk official, but behind the scenes, you don't want to do. You don't even want to do it. You don't want to get your hands dirty. You don't get to the grassroots. And that's part of the issue. But I'm just glad I had great mentors in my life. I see my father taking the trash out at the Thai temple all the time. Because that teaches me he's not too good to get his hand dirty in taking trash out. I'm not too good. If I see a homeless person, I still give them a smile. I still treat them like human being because I'm not too good. I'm not above them. Right. Same thing with the children. When I see children, I don't think I'm above them. That's why I get along with kids very well, because they feel that I understand them. And when I talk to older folks, I see them. When they look in my eyes, they know I see them. Instead of just treat them like old lady, I treat them like a human being. Because sometimes as people get older, they get treated generically like, oh, they still deserve like genuine connection that still has sass and flavor. Not just, here comes Miss Jane. I'll still play around with her. You know why? Because we may call her Miss Jane, but she's my friend. Even though, she's 82, but she's still my friend. Sometimes as we get older, we don't make friends with older folks because, the way we treat elders. They're like so far away, but instead, no, we're all brothers, sisters still. For 1 year, I had a great sensei. I had so many great mentors. I just been blessed with great mentors. It's just, it took me a long time to figure out my purpose, because this is not something people plan for in their life. You can be spiritual and stuff. And then the number, how are you going to make money doing that? I don't know. That's my mom's number one question. How are you going to make money doing that? Damn. I don't know. Maybe I'll just sell tickets to a sound bath. That's what everybody's doing, right? Maybe I'll start a certificate. Teach people sound healing and sell a certificate. I never would have thought, you're going to be helping people for free, actually. Like, well, where would the money come from? Right? Most people, when you tell your family you just help people for free, like, and that's your job, like, how can that be your job if you don't charge money? You transform people's lives and then they just donate when they can. Oh. But if you don't do a good job of transforming people's life, then you have to sell more tickets because you're not doing a good job. So you have to create some perceived value, which is called tickets. But when you create transformation, what markets itself better than genuine transformation in people's lives? Nothing. Nothing. When your life, like when you experience miracles in your life, like, dude, you should come meditate at the park. It's free. Oh, word. And it feels great. And when people come here, they're like, dude, there is no private one-on-one. You can just ask him whatever all the time. It's so easy to sell out and just do what's popular to get your numbers up, you know? That's why I love live streaming, because it allows you to be raw all the damn times. You don't like it, you don't have to be here. Like, oh, shoot. And that's why healing is possible, because it's so raw. You know what I mean? You don't resonate with it, you actually got some other place to go. Being of service has its its priceless reward. That's why I have not. Will you be streaming from Unity? Yeah, from my phone though. Yeah, the master taught me to don't sell out either, because I just didn't know it was possible, you know? But remember, it's not easy because I stream every day, right, to make it possible. Give me a second, I'll be back. See here, it says, people plan to make money following the path of their elders and they accumulate 100K, 100,000. In student debt with no change in job, elders know how to fish for the fishes they caught. But the old fishing spots are overfished by the time the next generation arrives. Do the elders know of new fishing bait? Elders only know their path they traveled, and a lot of elders are narcissists, explain. Yeah. That's why we have community, to inform each other, and when we stay humble, we learn a lot more. Because, people know what they know. What about what's beyond what they know? That's why you have to be around open-minded people, or else you stay in a box. That's why if you have been blessed to have an awakening or be on a path where you open your mind this lifetime, realize that a lot of people live and die asleep. Okay, just being completely honest. A lot of people stay asleep their whole lifetime. So for you to find a path of like spirituality and genuine happiness, because a lot of people may be religious but they're miserable, and some people are spiritual and they're miserable too, right? So you could be anything and be miserable, because sometimes you act happy but you're not genuinely happy. I'm just so grateful for genuine happiness. That's it, right? When you're genuinely happy, you know it. Some people act happy and you can tell who they are right away, but they don't know that. They don't know they're acting, because they just been doing that for so long. Is it you? It's up to you. You got to figure that out for yourself. I was a great actor in sales job. Yeah. I'm a bad actor when I don't like something. That's why I'm miserable. I can get things done, but deep down, maybe I just been blessed to get to follow my heart, because some people, they don't even think that's possible, to follow their heart or follow your bliss. Some people think it's fantasy to follow your bliss. You know what I mean? Have you heard that before? Following your bliss is like some fantasy, la la land. And that self-love, you shouldn't love yourself. Like, you should put others before you. There's a lot of, literally, that's what I did, my family did growing up. That's why self-love was so, wait, you can love yourself and be humble and not arrogant and be egoic? Oh, well, how come nobody taught me? Maybe you're meant to teach people. Oh. Word. You know what I mean? I got pissed off when I first found out, like, wait a minute. happiness is just now. Why aren't we teaching this to people? Right? It was simple to me because it took time, but when I figured it out, then I got pissed off, like, wow, it's not that difficult. Why? Like, I was like, why aren't we teaching this already? Then I found out there's politics, religion involved, and all these things that make things difficult, and societal programming and cultural programming and all these programmings, which is why it's called the Wheel of Samsara, or known as the Matrix. Do you have any advice for someone who has extreme abandonment issue? Let's just call it abandonment issue. When you say extreme abandonment issue, you make the issue a lot worse. Right. If you have abandonment issue, you need to work on the opposite. Support yourself. Don't need somebody to support you. Because if you don't need anyone to support you, no one can ever abandon you again. Because you got you all the time. Love your damn self is what we teach in here. Right? If you love you and you're number one, you can never dump yourself because you're always with you. And Coach Genesis specializes in treating abandonment. Thank you for your work. Personally, my mother had abandonment issue, which she taught me how to behave abandoned, like somebody who's abandoned. So whenever you're somebody who's abandoned, you chase love because you don't want love to abandon you. So you become clingy to people that doesn't, that's not good for you, because you just don't want to be alone, also known as abandoned. Love your damn self. And also what helps is being around positive community that loves themselves, which is rare to find but welcome. Right. The easiest way to transform your life is to be around people who are working on that transformation too. And that's really difficult to find, but you're stumbling upon it. We out here, man. But the commitment to transforming your life is not just one day or 1 week. Why would you not commit to your self-improvement for a lifetime? Oh yeah, why don't I just fully commit to improve myself? What are my other options? Not committing to yourself for a lifetime. Oh. You see how that it's simple, but sometimes it's not simple because we need mentors and guidance and just things that make sense. I need things to make sense. I'm not about to just believe something that don't make sense. I just don't know how to love something I've grown up to hate. Well, if you grew up to hate, that's called the past. If you want your future to change how you live your life in the present. If you wake up saying, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you every day, then you keep hating. But if you decide, I'm going to change my language, my demeanor, I'm ready for love. I'm ready to forgive. Also known as the law of attraction. If you wake up hating every day, what do you get? Hate. Oh. If you wake up with gratitude and love every day, what are you cultivating? Oh, love. Oh, Well, why the hell are you hating? Because you don't have wisdom. That's why wisdom is like a treasure that transforms your life. I'm so grateful for wisdom because it makes life make sense. Hating is exhausting for sure. Welcome, Blissful Wizard. What would you tell to someone feeling so alone in a individualistic, hard human moment? Okay. I have my partner, yoga, and I'm an artist, but sometimes life feels so lonely. I would tell them, love your damn self. You can have the white picket fence, children, marriage, Tesla, car, whatever you want, and still be miserable. Why? Because you don't love your damn self. If your cup is empty the whole time, you're never fulfilled. You see the issue? Love your damn self is everywhere. People miss it. I got everything. I got a partner. I do yoga. I make art. But you don't love your damn self. So no matter what, you're going to be lonely. Well, you have to see, where does that loneliness come from? Oftentimes, it's experienced from how we observe our parents behave. If our parents have abandonment issue or loneliness issues, they teach us. Even though we have everything, I still feel lonely because sometimes your mama taught you that. Sometimes your daddy taught you that. Right? So you have to see, are your parents divorced? What did they teach you? Right? If you were adopted, right? There's many reasons. Because sometimes because I'm adopted, I judge myself, or because this happened. So you have to see the cause and effect, which is literally all of this you can just observe. This is the Buddha's teaching, cause and effect. Oh, word, I'm like this. Well, where did you learn that from? The root. Where does that root come from? Oh, the root's here. Oh, who planted that seed? And you see, oh, where did that seed come from? Right here, from another tree. Oh, if that tree is a seed of sadness, then stop planting that damn seed. Oh. Well, that seed grew into a big tree. What can I do when I have a big sad tree? Chop down the tree and plant the seed of love. And water it every day. When you first plant the seed of love, it may take a year to grow, but realistically it takes a month. After a month, it starts sprouting. But if you don't water every day, or if the soil is too dry, that seed could die. But when you start to get a little sprout, you get excited and don't abandon that seed, because the weather could, or some bugs may get to it. You want to nurture that little sprout, and then you get one leaf. You're like, a leaf. And when you nurture that little sprout for 10 years, it becomes a pretty great sized tree. And you get the fruits. The fruit is called bliss, joy, abundance, happiness, peace. You just have to commit for a month and then a year. Because after a month, you're going to see great transformation. But if you don't truly commit, you're not going to see no transformation. It's like going to the gym just like twice a week. In a month, you're not going to see that much progress. But if you go to the gym 5 times a week for a month, shoot, your pec's going to be popping a little bit. Like, ooh, I feel it, right? Same thing with spiritual cultivation. Ooh, your tricep getting strong. I'm a little Arnold. I'm sorry the question's heavy. I'm wondering how you combat this feeling of self-deletion. I'm okay just asking. Oh. Well, first, before I learning how to deal with this, I had to go study. I had to, go see how people deal with people who are self-deleting. Right? It's a heavy subject if you don't have experience with helping people but when you've been helping people for years with this issue and successful, you start learning something. Number one thing I tell them, choose to live. It might not make sense now, but you can change your life. It just takes some time. Choose to live. Like, that's the first thing I tell people, because sometimes that's all they need to hear. It may not make sense now, your life may suck, but choose to live. Your life matters. And when they hear that, it just click, because it's the truth. Your life matters. Yeah. It may be bad now, but you can turn things around. You can heal your trauma. You can heal your sadness, because love is something already within. And so after talking to them, then I play them some soothing music, and it changes their consciousness instantly. But that's because that's just what we do around here. We transform people's lives. There's no fear. And there's so many positive people around here. It's hard to be sad, because when you're sad, you got somewhere to go to now. You know what I mean? If you're sick, you can come here. You sad, you come here. You got dumped. We're here. We're just going to be here positively. You know what I mean? But realize how long this took. It took me 5 years to build this online thing. It's easy for people to just come here and share their opinion now, right? But how long does that take? For people to build trust in the community enough for people to show up and just open their heart and tend to each other and it being peaceful. That's why it takes a lot. It takes leadership. It takes consistency. Some people have great words to say, but they don't want to build a community around it. Why? Because they don't have great results. When you have great results, you stand on business, because you know what you do has results. Some people, they just have philosophy but no results. And so when you come here and you're all sad, or maybe you have self-deletion thoughts, you're coming into a place that's like filtering out a lot of negative energy already. And I do my best to scan the chat all the time, because they don't realize how much effort people are showing up, the devotion people coming here. That's why people are comfortable expressing their sadness in a chat room. Think about that. Random people come here and express their sadness and joy comfortably. It's hard to find a space where people show up and just be vulnerable and feel heard, right? And so, but what does that take? Streaming every day, or streaming for years. And it's not just us having a space for people to express their sadness, but we actually help transform their life for free. Free. No strings attached. Like, you don't have to buy a t-shirt. You know, the only thing you get for subscribing, maybe you get an emoji. Like, damn, Rio is like, man, I don't want to love your damn self. Like, you can just type love your damn self. but they want the damn emojis. You don't need the emojis, but they want it. So I'm just grateful it's working out. You know what I mean? There's no like private readings or private one-on-one with, You can just ask your question now. Like a lot of people ask today. That's what I love about it. Right? People ask deep questions because they feel people care here. Because we do. So make sure to follow Grace, Christy, Monique. Many great people here supporting people on a daily basis. Okay? It's not just here. No strings attached. I'm not trying to convert people to Buddhism, okay? Some people are like, are you Buddhist? This is where I come from, but I just practice happiness with results. Yeah. What does that mean? Happiness with results? Like, yeah, we talk about happiness, we practice happiness, and people end up actually genuinely being happy. Oh. And you don't have to pay anything, don't have to join no cult. You could leave anytime. That sounds too good to be true. I know. I get it. People think I'm AI because the quality of the stream is too good to be here. Like, why would this dude have the best microphone, the best camera, and give free stuff all the time? 4 microphones, 60 flutes, giving flutes away to practitioners. Like, why? Be the change you wish to see in the world. Exactly. I get it. When people see some guru on TikTok, like, oh shoot, that must be some charlatan. Some people are open-minded and they listen deeper, but some people are not, right? When you see that some guru on TikTok and it looks like this, he's sassy, he cracks jokes. Why are you listening to him again? You're watching your cult again. Some people's husband and wife be like, you're watching him again? Some people's moms, you are. And then they get the whole family to watch. Their whole family starts liking it, like, what the hell? This dude's actually not that bad. Yeah, Guru Tenet is just the name that I use to communicate what I'm doing here, teaching people about happiness. I could call myself Life Coach Tenet, but that's not sexy. You know what I'm saying? Life Coach Tenet, like, that's not sexy at all. Cause why? Cause a lot of life coaches, right? Life coach. Cause the first time I heard life coach, I saw $800 right after. Like, no, thank you. But a lot of, yeah. So that's why. But when you hear gurus, yes, there's some fake gurus out there. Bikram yoga doing the wrong thing. But when you do the right thing, people are like, wait a minute. Okay, he's not actually that bad. A lot of life coach nowadays, is that legit? Yeah. For sure. People who life coach do a good job, and if they life coach for money, but not all life coach are created equal, you know. You know what I mean? Some are there, they're more interested in growing some wealth, and some people genuinely want to transform people's life while also turning that into their job. But where do they base their credibility? That's the main thing, right? What are they result driven? That's it. Some teachers match what you're trying to be in your life. So you should follow the people that resonate with you. You know what I mean? That's why I resonate with different teachers than other people. Like, I can respect Eckhart Tolle, but I don't like his style of delivery. I like Alan Watts, but I don't like his style of delivery, but I respect it. But when I see Michael Beckwith, or when I listen to Abraham Hicks, I'm like, ooh, I like this channeling style. Because when they speak, it's more channeled, right? It just flow, and that's rare to find. Speakers who just do a good job, it feels like you can feel a lot of energy. Some speakers are very good, but you don't feel the energy, right? And so I just follow like Thich Nhat Hanh, even though he's calm, composed, right? You can still feel passion from him teaching about things. I like Abraham Hicks for about a year, but then a lot of it I started realizing it was more about the teacher than it's the style. There can be a lot of ego behind that style of delivery. You know? Which you can say that style is similar to the Bashar style. It's like there's a knowing, it just rapidly comes out. There is some love in it, but it's but yeah, there could be ego, more ego. Yeah, I studied Abraham at first because of the way the information was delivered, but I went to a seminar and I realized, oh, wait a minute. I'm more addicted to the delivery than the practice. I felt like I was in on some, right? I was in on some, like, community. Like, I felt, ooh, right, the vortex. But then my mind was changing, but I realized it was more about feeling like you're in on some, you know, group, and you're in the knowing than practical change sometimes. Yeah. But some people like that. For some people, that's what works. So a lot of Western American style, they come from that, you know, mediumship. It's what I start to see when I go to metaphysical fairs. There's a lot of mediumship. There's a lot of psychic things because it's interesting. Right. So when I see Abraham Hicks, there's a lot of that psychic vibe and the mediumship vibe. But I noticed it wasn't grounded. So I went to Michael Beckwith's. Yeah, so I only knew because I've been to seminars like the Mary Morrissey Dream Builder Workshop, or, you know, Tony or Joe Dispenza. You see people talk about Joe Dispenza all the damn time. But when I see some people, I'm like, not a lot of results. It's like we're in on the knowledge. That's why the master said they read a lot of cookbook, but they don't do the cooking. It's like, I know about the power of now, but I'm not present. Like, that is the main issue with too much philosophy. Yeah. Do you like Joe Dispenza? I'm okay with him. Jim Rohn is somebody I resonate with more, for sure. Jim Rohn and Wayne Dyer, for sure. Wayne Dyer, Jim Rohn. Thich Nhat Hanh. I actually do like Alan Watts, okay? It's just more... I actually do like Alan Watts, but sometimes there's just too much information that's not useful. So a lot of the people in the Western world, I wouldn't say Western, a lot of people everywhere follow too much of the instruction, right? The Buddha's finger, right? Reading too many books, reading only the instruction, but you never like take the leap to be original. And so that's like, I think that might be like the second or third lesson the master taught us. You know, some people, they love to read a cookbook. Oh, yeah, they know mucho Zen master. He said, right, they know mucho Zen master, guru here and there, but they don't do the cooking. Because the cooking, it leads to doing the work and transforming your life. Yeah, so I'm just sharing with you all the journeys of teachers that I explored. Even plant teachers, I explored a lot of plant medicines myself. And then it's the same thing. People want to just do the medicine, but they don't want to learn what the medicine has to offer. They're just trying to get high. But we can't say that out loud because people's ego would blow up. Like, that's why as I become more mature, I lost a lot of friends because I start realizing the immaturity of the shortcuts, right? The fake enlightenment from taking too much plant medicines. And then you got Joe Rogan hyping that up, It's trendy now to do all these things, and so... Thank you, Cece. I'm just here to be deeply vulnerable with you because you want to be very selective of who you listen to. I'm extremely selective of who I listen to because you can sense it when you listen to people's voice, you look at their eyes, you look at their aura. Because the people that are pure, there's something weird about them that's good way. It's a good weird. You know what I mean? The one that's questionable is like a weird that's like mysterious and kind of like, And usually these people use hype. There's a lot of hype. Whenever there's a lot of hype behind a certain teacher, right, I'm more reluctant to see. I have to go soon in 7 minutes here to go set up for Unity tonight. At first I was falling for those trends. Yeah, spirituality has a lot of trends that get you to buy stuff. And that's why the word snake oil salesman is popular, because it's somewhat true. Why the hell do you need a grounding mat? Anyways, it's good marketing. It's good something to sell. Right, to ground yourself, meditate. But instead, they want you to buy stuff and meditate, which is a great inspiration in the beginning. But as you mature, you don't need a damn grounding mat to be grounded. Did the Buddha need a grounding mat? Yeah, they got dirt, the ground. Oh. Thank you, Tanya. Let's see what... I have a question. How do you let go unreached dreams? Like you're, for example, never winning the trophy at a contest. I wish I move on. Oh, so you have an unreached dream? Never winning a trophy at a contest for you. I mean, you could get a trophy today. Start working towards something. But the best trophy to have is happiness. Some people get the trophy are miserable. Why can't your trophy be your own happiness? But you're still alive, so you could achieve something and get a trophy. You know, like whenever I help people success, I feel I get a trophy. Right? Because helping people, it's like, wow, it's so priceless to me, you know. It's like a magical experience. So now if you have unreached dreams, well, guess what? If you never stop moving towards your dreams, you may actually get there. And sometimes you judge yourself for not achieving your goals instead of work on achieving them. Well, I guess we should judge ourselves less and start working and do the work. Ta-da! But it's difficult when we've been telling ourselves I'm a failure because I didn't get that trophy. I didn't get the trophy because I went to the Pokemon competition and got number 4 instead of number 3. Shoot, there's still Pokemon competitions going around. You know what I'm saying? Do I get a trophy for... I mean, the master is giving me like 3 trophies for volunteering at the temple. But the best trophy is happiness. I'm just so grateful I can be happy with my life. I used to be so damn miserable, so the trophy is my joy. Everything else is extra, right? I get to play flutes. I get to just whack on stuff here, just play a flute, whack singing bowl. I get to crack jokes, right? So I yell at people from time to time with loving intention. Why do seagulls fly over the sea? Because if they flew over the bay, they would be bagels. People think, oh, damn, what are they on? Shoot. Happiness. So we practice happiness in an unorthodox way because it's genuine. Yes, that's the most popular one. What do you call a cow with no legs? And so that's why I'm grateful for authenticity so much, because it allows you to be imperfect. I think a lot of what authenticity is about being proud of your imperfections. But then that being proud of your imperfection leads you to feeling more confident about yourself. Instead of judging yourself for your imperfection. I got a lot of imperfection. Most people do. That's what makes us human. Right? But instead of feeling shame and judging each other, like, yeah, the goal is to help people live a happy life. Have money, enough to be happy, right? Enough to have a good time in life, not miserable. As long as you're not miserable, but if you are miserable, we can help with reducing that and raising the joy. That's what I love about spiritual community, because spiritual means authentic, genuine, and happiness. So the spiritual path leads you to like genuine happiness. Unless the spirituality you practice, it's more from people who teaching it another way, which is often spiritual ego, visualizing a bunch of stuff and not actually having concrete results, which is very popular, by the way. And then you end up buying a bunch of copper wrapped things and crystals and all these things, which does work if you practice with them and you meditate and it's something more inside. But the issue is it's a lot more profitable when the thing that you practice is outside. But as long as you have the thing within, do whatever you want on, right? If you have the happiness within, whatever you do on the outside is going to be joy. But if you don't have happiness within and you think buying another amethyst is going to help you feel joy, it may only happen for maybe a day. Yay, I got a new crystal. And now it's on the shelf. Oh, I got a new tarot deck. Yay. Maybe you're happy for a week or a month and then it goes away. Well, what about happiness that's long lasting? Right here. Why not turn that into happiness? Your relationship with the way you breathe. It brings you joy to breathe in joy. Free. No, but if people do that, then they're not going to go to the metaphysical shop and buy more crystals, though. They could still buy it because people like crystal. Happy people also buy crystals. Oh. As a matter of fact, happy people will end up making more money and they end up buying bigger crystals. But they don't want, sometimes we don't think that far. Right? When you're happy, your energy is good, you make more money, you buy better crystals. When your energy bad, you just buy a bunch of little ones. Because your energy is little crystal energy. But when your energy big, happy, abundant, you're big crystal energy now. Why? Because the crystal is inside. It's your chakras. That's why they call like the 1,000 lotus, right? All this. It's a living crystal. Your chakras. Stay grounded. All right, I'm leaving. I gotta set up. I have to go to set up for Unity of Houston tonight. I'll live stream it. I'm gonna eat something first, and then I gotta leave in an hour. Pack up, set up. Can't eat too much. Don't want to feel stuffy. So thank you for a good discussion. I hope you learned something today. I hope everybody gets a good healing. The wisdom helps to unlock. Thank you for the positive energy. Thank you for the deep questions today. A lot of people deep question. Yeah, I'll stream it from my phone. Thank you for all the blessings and the donation, the gifting. Make sure to check out Sister Zen Zone Monique. You're streaming today. Right, and then tomorrow, Sister Christy, right? Well, I don't know if she got. Thank you, Sister Kata. Keep practicing your flutes. Thank you, Clover. Are we going with Clover or Chloe now? Clover. Thank you to Grace. Tomorrow I stream. Oh, okay. Not this week. Okay, so Sister Grace, whenever she's on, I was trying to see if you were on today too. How can I get into playing the flute again? Have fun. Record yourself. And see how you sound. And want to get better. Because when you sound better, people go, oh my gosh, what kind of flute is that? Is Love Your Damn Self flute? Here we go. Breathing in. Practice your damn flute, okay? At this point, everybody in here's got a flute. Not everybody, okay? At least 40%, okay? Practice your damn flute. And I hope you have a wonderful day.